We're going to go ahead and get started, and I will continue to admit people. Good evening. I was going to say good morning, but it's well past morning. My name is Suzanne Sierra. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the St. Louis Mosaic Project. And the St. Louis Mosaic Project, quickly, it's a regional initiative of the World Trade Center of St. Louis. And we are under the umbrella of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership. And the partnership is the economic development agency for the city and the county of St. Louis. So together, the World Trade Center and Mosaic work on attracting and retaining foreign-born talent and companies to the region. Mosaic specifically, our goal is to transform St. Louis into one of the fastest growing major metropolitan areas for immigration by the year 2025, and to add 25,000 new immigrants to the region against the base in 2016. So to add 25,000 new foreign-born residents to St. Louis by the year 2025. And what we do is we work as connectors. Our goal is to provide warm introductions and connect newcomers to other professionals and resources and organizations that can help them thrive both personally and professionally. We want everyone who arrives here from another country, whether it's because they were transferred with another company, they've come here to study, they've come from another state, or they're here to start or to expand a business. We want them to feel like they have a support system and you know, that they can thrive. And so one of the areas of focus is with foreign-born entrepreneurs. And so this panel that we're holding today is one of a series that we've been doing with Venture Cafe, and we're very appreciative for their partnership. And so tonight we are going to learn all about Google, growing with Google and advertising on Google and Google Analytics. And our presenter is Keisha Mabry Haymore. Some of you may know Keisha or have seen her in person or in the last year on social media. She is a coach, a speaker, an entrepreneur, a friend, and that's her whole shtick is about making friends and connecting. So she's going to lead the presentation, and then Roberta Dall is our entrepreneur. She's going to have a fireside chat with Keisha, and Roberta joins us. She is originally from Brazil and made her way to St. Louis in 2019, right before the pandemic. Welcome to St. Louis. When her husband was transferred here to work. And she just launched a new business called Signature Skin Inc. So we're going to learn about the magic of Google to help her grow. And with that, I will turn it over to Keisha. And we'll have an opportunity for you to ask questions throughout. And I'll let you take it away, Keisha. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Hey, friends. So excited to be here with all of you today. We're going to learn about some ads. So just a little about me. I love to connect, and not just in person, but online too. And we're going to do it, friends. So tonight in the chat, would love for you to start connecting. Let us know what's your name. If you have a business, what's your business name? And then one thing fun about yourself. So go ahead, start using the chat. For the rest of tonight, chat will be our main way of communicating. However, I will be honest, when I'm presenting, I get really excited and I forget to look at the chat. So at any point, if I don't get your question, feel free to come off mute and just say friend, and I'll stop and listen. Tonight is all about you. So this is your presentation. If there's a question that you have, ask it. If there's something that I go over that you don't understand, let me know and we will repeat it. Our goal for all of these Google sessions is no learner left behind. So again, this is your session, and I want to make sure at the end of today, you get what you need to get out of it. So with that said, let's get started. It's really fun, and today we're going to talk about how do you maximize your return on your investment when it comes to your Google ad. So a little bit about me. Suzanne said so many amazing things. Thank you, friend. Again, my name is Keisha Mabry Haymore. I am the Grow with Google digital coach. For those that don't know, Grow with Google is an initiative to help entrepreneurs grow their brands and businesses. Our goal is to close the digital divide. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to use digital skills and digital marketing to grow your business. Oftentimes, it's just a matter of you not understanding because you just don't know. No one has ever broken down the concept to you, and that's our goal for these sessions. At any point, if you have a question after the fact, I get my best questions afterwards. You can email me at digitalcoachstl@growwithg.co, and I will get back to you. You can also add me on social media at Keisha Mabry or our Digital Coaches Program at Digital Coaches Program. Tonight, we're going to talk about how do you advertise on Google and how do businesses take advantage of it. Then we're going to talk about different things you can do to improve your ad, how you can use data to measure your success, and then we're going to do a quick recap and share some resources. After that, I am so excited to do our amazing fireside chat with Roberta and to learn more about her business, Signature Skin. So let's start with advertising on Google. Let's just break some numbers down because this is where it starts. So did you know 49% of shoppers surveyed said they use Google to discover and find new products and items? In the chat, what was the last thing you used Google for? I'm going to participate as well. For me, the last thing I used Google for was to find food. I feel like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, I always get hungry. Search for a pump, recipes. Yep, looking for a lounge chair, all of those things, travel info. So we use Google for a lot of things. And the thing is, Google is the #1 search engine. After Google is YouTube. And oftentimes what the data tells us is that we use Google for our now needs. And our now needs then encourage us, make us support businesses. So businesses that really utilize Google Ads, Google My Business, or Google Analytics to really understand how people search, when people search, they can really get some market share just based on knowing that. So 49% of shoppers. Then another survey says 59% of shoppers say they research or purchase before they make it in store or online. In the chat, do you research your purchases before you make them? I absolutely do. Me too. Sometimes, yes, absolutely. Yes, 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 absolutely, right? And if you're like me, you go to Google, but then you may also go to YouTube because you want to see it, right? You want to see someone using it. You want to see a review. So again, this data reflects consumer behavior, and knowing consumer behavior can help you increase the sales in your business. So how do ads work? So when someone wants to find something, they go to Google, they do a search, and then businesses bid for opportunities to show their ads. This is where a lot of people get confused because they think they have to understand bidding very well. Here's the thing, you don't. There is a thing called Smart Campaign, which we're going to talk about today. Smart Campaign does the bidding for you. So you do not have to understand the bidding process that happens behind the scenes. You just have to have a goal and objective for your ad. But once that bidding process happens, then the ads appear in Google results. Advertisers can pay for clicks, and then we as consumers click on the ads and hopefully are encouraged to buy the thing that you're putting the ad out there about. So that's how all the behind the scenes works. So there are so many different types of ad formats. However, we're used to the main two with the first two bullets. We see text ads all the time. Those are the ads that pop up at the very top of your search result that say ad next to them, and then there's some text there. Then image ads, we see these all the time as well. So those are the ads that pop up at the very top of the search result as images. There's shopping ads, like if you click on shopping, you can see the shopping ads that appear. There's dynamic search ads, there's call only ads, there's video ads, so all of these different types of ads. For the sake of today, we're going to be talking about text ads. Text ads are pay per click ads, meaning you only pay when someone clicks on the ad. That's what's really cool. This is another misconception. Oftentimes people believe that the ad is just running up your budget. but the ad only gets charged back to you if someone clicks on it. And so this is the text ad that I was referring to. So these are the types of ads that we're going to be talking about today. So as you can see, it says ad, then it shows your website. It has a headline, and then it shows a little description. And when we talk the rest of today, we're going to talk about the best way to write this description with your call to action that really encourages people to click. So if you want, you can actually follow along with me and create your first ad. You don't have to launch it yet, but if you want to just get comfortable with the ad campaign, you can go ahead and sign into your Google account. If you want to do that, just go to google.com, click sign in, and then if you don't have a Google account, no worries, you can sign up for free. So if you want to go ahead and do that, feel free, and then you can actually practice while we are going through the presentation today. So you want to set up your first ad. Once you sign in, you just can click on ads, or you can go to g.co/ads, and it will take you right to the ad page. This is what the ad page looks like. You can click start now up in the right corner, or you can click start now in the middle of the page. From there, the ad campaign will just guide you through the ad. And then again, it's a smart campaign, so it allows you to input the information step by step. When you first log in, you'll see this. What's your main goal? And that's where all of the ad building starts. Do you want to get more calls? Do you want to get more website sales or signups? Do you want to get more visibility to a physical location? The reason this is so important is because Smart Campaign uses your goal to actually help you build the campaign and help you with the next steps to walk through building the campaign. So the cool thing about Smart Campaign, again, it's a quick setup and the system automatically manages your ad, meaning that bid process that we talked about earlier on the back end, Smart Campaign automatically does that for you. However, do you see this sentence here? Are you a professional marketer? If you are, if you're like, I really want to control where my ad is going, I really want to do the bidding, I want to learn that, or if you feel like you've used Smart Campaign a few times, you can click here and go into expert mode. Expert mode is not automatic. It's a longer setup, but it gives you more control. So know you have both options. So again, if you want to go through Smart Campaign, you just continue going through the prompts. If you want to switch over to expert mode, you just click right there where it says expert mode. Once you get through the goal, then you want to provide Google your business name. And this is where a lot of people mess up as well. It sounds like simple, right? You just add your name. However, sometimes people have a public name and sometimes they have a private name. So they refer to their business as one thing, in-house, and then out of house, they refer to the business as something else. It's so important for you to refer to the business the way the public knows you, especially if you have multiple locations. So Spice House 5, Spice House 6, does the public know the Spice House by that, or do they know it by something else? The way to really get over this is to get a Google My Business campaign, a Google My Business profile, my apologies. How many people in the chat have heard of Google My Business and have a profile? Let me know. Austin says yes, 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 yes. Jerry says no, yes, and yes, and yes. For those that don't, really encourage you to get on Google My Business, because Google My Business allows you to get on search and maps. And then the business name that's on search and maps on your Google My Business profile is the business name you should use in ads, because it just makes everything connected. So you add the business name. Then from there, you're going to tell people where to go. So you enter your website address and then they will click there. But here's the thing about the address. You want people to click on the place in the website where you want them to go. So oftentimes, as you can see here, people put their home page Is there a call to action on the homepage? Like, where do you want me to have action? Your ad should lead me to action, right? So don't give me the homepage because I'm just looking and searching. I don't know where to go from there. Unless the goal is just to have more website visits. If that's the case, then lead me to the homepage. But if your ad goal is to sell more of a product or a service, you need to lead me to that products page or that service page. And again, this is where a lot of people go wrong as well. So wherever I click, there should be a call to action for me to do something on the page that you're leading me to. Don't just lead me to the home page. Again, unless your goal is to get more website visits, but if it is to push a product or service, lead me to that product or service page. So again, I can't stress this enough. Know that whatever website you put right here, this is the website where people are going to go after they click the ad. From there, you want to write the ad, and you want to write it in a way that's going to drive a call to action, right? So it's going to make me do something. The cool thing about Smart Campaign, as you're writing in all of these places, like you don't need to know what a headline is, you don't need to know what a description is because there's a preview on the right side of the screen. So no worries if you don't know what all of these things are. Once you start typing in them, you'll see where they populate. So you can see headline 1 is the first thing that I'll see after ad and after your website. Then headline 2 is what I see right next to it. And then headline 3 is what I see right after that, right? These headlines need to be something that points me to the business. So you can even see here with this ad, they even included a call to action. It says order spices online. So I know instantly what you want me to do with this ad, right? I know that it's by the Spice House. I know that you're trying to push online sales for spices, and I know where your website is. Now, I would argue headline 3 necessarily does not have to have your website necessarily, because why? The website's already here. So maximize that area. Put something else there that's going to entice me to click. You don't need to repeat information on the ad that you're already putting, okay? So utilize your space. You have a very small space to get people's attention, but make sure you're getting it and make sure you're telling them what to do. So headline 1, I encourage you to write who you are. Headline 2, I encourage you to write what you want me to do. And then headline 3, I encourage you to write something else. Like here it says include a clickable phone number, right? You can even put that down there. So again, utilize your space. And then the description, as we can see here, spices and seasonings from the spice markets of the world to your kitchen, right? The first sentence tells me exactly what you are, exactly what you do. And then the second sentence gives me another call to action. You see how that repeats? Who are you? What's the call to action? And then the third sentence should be something that adds more value and entices me to want to click even more. So the third sentence here says, there are spices, herbs, and seasonings ground in small batches for exceptional freshness and flavor. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. I know what the Spice House is. I know that you're pushing online sales and orders, and I know that you want me to be excited about the small batches, the freshness, and the flavor, right? So it's speaking value to probably what I'm looking for in a spice. The other thing that people do is they get creative with description too by including any offers that they have, right? Are you running any sales? Are you running any promotions? Anything that's going to create urgency to make me want to click now. People often do that with headline 3 as well. So they'll say 50% off, right? Like order spices online, 50% off. Again, who are you? Call to action. What gets me excited? That is the model for the headline, and that is the model for the description. And then I definitely encourage you to include a phone number that's clickable, and you put that right down there. Any questions so far? How are you feeling? Are ads feeling like they're easy to do? And in the chat, how many people have already ran ads?
I did in the past.
And what was your experience, Matt?
I was using, so I made PayPal, I made a PayPal account and I don't remember what the other.
That's okay.
I was just selling small items. I figured, well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did anyone click on them? Did you get any results from them?
Yeah, I sold those items.
Nice, congrats. Oh, go ahead.
They were just small items. Like one was a CD.
Got it. That's awesome. So yeah, you had some success. And the biggest thing with the success is, again, making sure the website that you put on there points to the place where you want people to take action, and then making sure your headlines and your descriptions have call to actions in them. Thanks so much, Matt.
I guess it was a temporary website on eBay.
Oh, I see where you did. Yep. And you just ran an ad against it. Really cool. Yeah. Debbie, you said you ran ads before. What was your experience?
It was actually a couple of years ago, and I think it was before this new tool that you're talking about, and it was actually, I found it complicated to get everything set up and get it all working right, and I don't think we had great success because we didn't keep doing it. So so I'm excited to see these new tools because I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always been the thing with ads, is like the barrier of the bidding and getting it set up and everything like that. And again, if you feel comfortable doing that, there's expert mode, but smart campaign when you're first starting, in my opinion, is the way to go. Thank you all for sharing. So after you get the headlines and the descriptions added, then from there you want to insert keywords. And yes, you should always insert keywords. If you don't know the keywords for your business, you can always go to Google Trends. So just Google Trends, and then type in some keywords that you think may be trending. And then Google will show you the words that are actually trending in your area. If you want to run the campaign in your local area, in other cities, if you want to run the campaign in other cities, you'll get an idea. Even like you can see the world versus the US. So really cool, Google Trends. And you can get there, again, just by Googling Google Trends. So add some keywords. If you are too into your business to like even use Google Trends to find your keywords, ask some potential customers, or ask customers that you have, like, hey, if you were to search spice, like what would you search? And then think like a customer. Again, as we talked about earlier, most of us are searching for things based on our now needs, right? So spice store in St. Louis may be something we would search. Or if we were trying to cook a certain type of dish, we may search Mediterranean spices, right? So again, think like a consumer to help you really figure out those keywords. Other things that you can think about when it comes to keywords is like how your spices or how your products and services are set apart. So as you can see here on the screen, organic spices, that's a value add for this spice store. Sweet spices, online spice store, right? They're talking to people who want spices conveniently. I can just order them and get them delivered to my home. Savory spices, right? So think about value add for customers, and then think about what's trending in the market. Once you pick the keywords, from there, you're going to decide a location. And this is another place where people often mess up because they're like, I want to target everyone. And friends, the riches are in the niches. So get down, get niche, and really think about what city, region, address, zip code do I need to target? Because again, we are now people, and we buy and purchase based on our now needs. Typically, now means locally in my area, right? Like earlier, someone said they were looking for a lounger. I'm sure the lounge chair they were looking for, if they were to do a search, was lounge chair in St. Louis, lounge store in St. Louis, right? They're not going to drive to Chicago to buy the lounger, maybe, but preferably would love to get it in like a 20-mile radius from where they are. So again, get local. I know people want to target everywhere, but if that is the goal, maybe run 2 ads, do an A/B test where you run it based on one region, and then run another one based on another region if you're trying to expand into another region. If you're advertising for a B2B service, how does local play? Oh, good question. So in that space, I often encourage people to do their region or do their location based on if you're trying to push into a region. Or maybe you run your data and you see that out of your business-to-business store, you're getting a lot of traffic from this one region. Maybe you want to beef up that region, right? Or maybe there's a traffic that's a region that's emerging from you and you want to beef up that one. Again, you're going to get your best results when you try to get local. That's what I would do. I would look at my top selling regions, run ads to those to try to get my saturation even deeper with those regions. And then if I have some extra budget money left over, I would try to enter into new markets. Does that help, Debbie?
Yes, thank you.
Once you figure out your regions, then you want to set a budget. And this is another question that people often ask. Well, how much should my budget be? Again, totally up to your business budget. I encourage everyone to have a business budget. The business budget is going to allow you to decide how much money you should spend on ads. You should never just throw a number in the air. So a lot of small businesses starting out, they have like smaller budgets for marketing every month, like $100 a month or $200, $500, some even $1,000, because they believe getting the word out there about their products and services is key for them to really get into the market and grow. Again, this is totally based on what makes sense for you. However, Google will recommend a daily average for you based on the goal that you chose in the beginning. So you can see here with this ad, it says $10 daily average is the recommendation. And that's a good recommendation. And over to the right, you can see how many clicks Google thinks you could get from that daily budget. And you can always, play around with the numbers to see. The other thing is you can pause the ad at any time, which I actually encourage you to go back and look at it. Don't set the ad and forget it. You want to look at the numbers, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you may want to adjust some of your headlines and some of your descriptions if you're not seeing the return that you want it to see. So that's a cool thing. You can change and pause at any time. If you pay by click, what does the $10 get you? The $10 get you an estimated daily clicks, right? So estimated daily clicks means Google believes if you spend at least $10 getting this ad out, from the number of people this ad can get in front of, Google believes you can get 15 to 26 clicks. However, as we mentioned earlier, you only get charged based on the number of times people clicked. So if enough people don't click one day, you won't get charged the full daily rate. But if they do, you will. Just know that it won't go above your daily rate. Does that make sense? Okay. After that, you finish the ad. And once you set the budget, you click next and your ad is done. Congrats, you're all done. If at any point you need any help, there's always a contact. People are always like, how do I contact Google? When you're in their platforms, whether it's Google My Business, Google Ads, Google Analytics, actually contacting them is not that hard. So there's usually a 1-800 number there. There's usually a support button. There's a mobile app that you can download and get your support that you need. But they're actually really awesome. if you have questions and things like that. Once you enter your payment information and set up your tracking, if you want to do tracking, which I absolutely encourage you to do, because that's the goal, is to know that you're getting some conversions. Your ad is done, and again, you can change it at any time. The question, how to convert these clicks to real sales. I run ads before, but it's not translated to sales. This sounds similar to Facebook ads. Oh, Samira, it sounds like maybe you don't have conversion tracking on, so you may not have the data that you need. The other thing I would say is, Samira, do you have a Google My Business account? If you don't, I encourage you I can't talk. I encourage you to get one, because you can connect, and I'll show you all Google My Business here in a second for those that don't know what it is, but you can connect your ads campaign to Google My Business, and then you can see where people are coming from, right? So layer the data on top of each other. That's how you convert it to real sales. But I would say one thing about sales is, it's one thing. There's a million things. One thing may be your ad doesn't have the language that is getting people excited. Or once they get to your website or your landing page, it doesn't have the things it needs to convert people. It may be confusing. The user experience on it may not be the best user experience, which happens a lot. Like, we can get people to click on the ad, but then once they're on our website, we can't get them to convert. And it's because, A, we haven't sold them enough. So there's something going on our website. We don't have the right language. We don't have our add to cart in the right place. There may be too much reading or too much scrolling for people. There may not be enough testimonies. There's so many different factors that affect the time from when people click on an ad to actually get on your website to check out. The other thing is, it usually takes up to 3 times for people to see an ad before they actually do something with it. So maybe your ad hasn't gotten in front of them enough times, right? So there's the first ad, but then there's also retargeting ads, right? Someone brought up social media. There's a retargeting ad aspect, right? There's the whole sales funnel. There's a whole ad campaign that goes with the ad, and a whole ad strategy, not just the ad. So I would say it's either the ad strategy that you have, or people aren't seeing it enough, or there's something going on your website or landing page that isn't convincing people that they need to buy now. The other question I will ask, on your website and landing page, do you have data tracking that tells you when people click on certain things? If you have a heat map or something like that, that will allow you to know where people are clicking on your landing page and how people are moving about, which will help you better understand if you have things in the right place. The other thing I would say, do you have an abandoned cart tracker on your website and landing page? That will let you know if people are actually putting it in their cart and not actually checking out. And that's when retargeting ads can support with that. So a lot of answers to that one question, but there's a lot of moving parts there. Does that help, Samira? Give you some ideas as to where to go and what to think about? If you need more thoughts, feel free to email me and we can totally talk offline. Once you have your ad going, it's so important for you to always go back to it, review the performance, edit any keywords or themes, any phrases, continue to look at the data of your website. If you don't have Google Analytics tracking your website, you should, so that you can see the key phrases that people are using to get to your website. The other thing is track themes, track trends, like what's going on, you know, all of those things you need to know so that you can continue to adjust the ad, and then rewrite it, re-edit it, and then create additional ads. Like I said, retargeting is important too. So people need to see the ad, but retargeting, they need to see fresh, relevant stuff that gets to them. Because oftentimes when we run our first ad, we don't know what's going to appeal to our potential customer. So that's when A/B testing comes into play, meaning you run 2 ads and you change one thing. Either you change the image, if you're doing a image ad, or if you're doing a text ad, you change the text, and text ads were what we talked about today. The other thing you can change is location, right? You can control where and when ads appear, and then you can always manage your budget. You can do all that from your Google Ads dashboards. A quick question, how much time per week would you say it takes to manage ads on Google? Not much time, like a quick 30 minutes, look at the dashboards, see what impressions you got, like the dashboards that we see here on the screen, what clicks you got, how much you spent. The other question that people often ask, what impressions are good impressions? How many clicks are good clicks? And that depends completely on you and what makes sense for your conversion. So if you feel like, oh, I'm getting more eyes on, on my landing page, on my website, this is good for me. If you feel like the ad is giving you the data that you want, then keep running it, maybe increase your budget. If you feel like it's not, then adjust the words and then run it again. Professional service businesses. The thing about professional service businesses is people often think that ads are only great for product businesses, but that is not the case. Now needs include professional services. Just for instance, this was maybe 3 weeks ago. I did a search on cleaning companies in St. Louis because I have a 9-month-old. And I'm telling you, friends, I really thought I could clean and be a mom, and it's hard out here. It is hard. So I needed help cleaning my kitchen, which is so embarrassing to say, but I did. And so I Googled cleaning services in St. Louis, and an ad got me. And so I hired the people based on that. So yes, professional services ads work just as well as they do for products. So here's the big comparison between the smart campaign and then actually search campaigns. So in addition to smart campaigns, you can actually run a search campaign on Google. This is like what the expert mode. So you can see like you have to manage the bidding, you have to manage the extensions, the keywords, all of these things. However, you have the option to do that. If you run a few on smart campaign and you want to convert over to expert mode, this is what that looks like. You manage, as you can see, way more of it, of the process. It's not as automated. And we talked about how you transition to expert mode at the bottom there. And then in expert mode, it is intuitive, not as intuitive, which not as friendly, but it walks you through it as well. So you start with like start with search rather, and then you figure out which campaign you want. And then after that, you can see on the screen here, do you want a shopping ad? Do you want to, do you want a shopping ad? Do you want a video ad? You can tell the system all the different types of ads that you want, and then walk through the process of actually creating those ads. So again, that option is there if you want to use it. So how to improve your ads. We talked about this a little bit, but let's dig into it a little bit more. So again, it starts with that headline and those descriptions. What are you saying that makes me want to click? And then once I click, how are you keeping me there, right? So making sure you have the right URL, making sure you have the right call to actions in both your headline and your description. Some tips, make sure your content is relevant. So spices versus buy specialty spices, right? So that's the call to action there. You're telling me to do something. You want to include keywords into the text. So that's where that Google Trends website comes into play. And then you want to inspire me, like call now, order now, and even maybe throw in an offer in there, 50% off, 10% off, to really entice people to click and buy. The other thing that people typically do, they go wrong by using verbiage with the ad, different language on the ad, than they do on the landing page. And so people get confused. So they call one thing, like they'll say like, for instance, buy spices, but then I click on the website and I don't see anything about spices, right? Like you send me to seasoning and I'm like, wait, is this the spice or is this the seasoning? Even though that's so simple, you're like, yes, they should know a spice is a seasoning. But you'll be surprised. User experience, you want to decrease user error as much as possible. So it's so important for you to use the same language on the ad and on the website. So there's no issues there, right? So if I click on an ad for spices, When I click on your website through the ad, I see spices. I don't see seasonings, okay? So it's important for you to make sure all of your language is aligned. The other thing, create ad groups and focus ads, meaning when you're running, and this is more so for expert mode because in Smart Campaign, it kind of automates this process for you. But once you get comfortable in expert mode, you can actually target even deeper than location. You can start to target ad groups, right? And then Samira, this may be something that you want to actually start trying. If you feel like Smart Campaign isn't working for you, if location isn't enough, you actually may want to start creating expert mode ads so that you can get more specific in your targeting. And not just for Samira, for all of you. Seriously, expert mode is not as crazy hard as it seems. The system is better. It definitely walks you through it. It's not as easy as Smart Campaign, but hands down, I would say the number one value add for expert mode is you can get to target even deeper than location. The other thing to improve your ad, like I said, write simple yet enticing ads. Tell me who you are, tell me what you want me to do, and tell me why I should do it, right? Test multiple ad variations, as we talked about earlier with A/B testing. Change your language. If you do an image ad, change the image, and then constantly review your ad performance and adjust as needed. We talked about keywords already, but again, just important, know your keywords. And you can see here on the screen, the dashboard that you'll have access to once you run your ad. You'll actually see how people clicked based on certain keywords, which is really important to know. And then this goes back to like how people search. So if you want the ad to be shown to people, even if they misspell words, or if they have synonyms or variations, you'll just tell Google spice. But if you want an exact match, you'll tell them spice with the quotation marks. Well, if you want a phrase rather, and then if you want the exact, you'll tell them spice with the brackets. And then if you want them to exclude certain words, you'll tell Google negative. This is not in Smart Campaign. This is in expert mode when you really get to target and build the ad the way that you want, when things are not so automated. And then last but not least, one more thing about expert mode, there is a keyword planner built into expert mode, which is another reason people like to use expert mode that will help you discover your keywords. So again, the cool thing about Smart Campaign is that it's quick, it's easy. You probably can run an ad in 5 minutes. All the bidding is done for you behind the scenes. The cool, great thing about expert mode, which is also called Search Campaign, is the fact that you can get more targeted, right? You can get more targeted and you have a keyword planner right there. You can also do ad extensions. So you can add more like call extensions with more numbers. You can add a site link, call out location extension. So many different things. A call out is basically like an offer. If you have an offer, you see here free shipping, holiday deals, view gift card collections, special spice blends. You can get creative with this in Smart Campaign by just adding this to your headline or to your description. But in expert mode, you can actually include it into the ad and it will show up as people hover over. There's so many more extensions as well. And I'm sure you have probably seen some of these on your Google results page, like price extensions, promotions, automated, app structured, all of those things will pop up and be available to you in Smart Campaign, in expert mode as well. And then last but not least, regardless of the campaign that you use, was the campaign successful? That's the question that we're always asking ourselves. And it really comes down to, did it accomplish the goal that you wanted it to accomplish? Did it get the impressions you wanted, the clicks, the conversions? Oftentimes conversion is everyone's goal. They're like, yes, I need this to convert. But sometimes when you are introducing a new product or service into the marketplace, You just want people to know about it, because we know the more times things get in front of people, the more willing they are to buy, right? So conversions isn't always the goal in the beginning, even though it's always the goal in the end. This is just an example of some of the reports that you can run in Smart Campaign. You can definitely look at your impressions, clicks, calls, and conversions. Is optional, but I encourage you to do it. Do not let it be optional. Make sure that you click this so that you can get that data. And then this is some other data that you can get. This is when you're in expert mode. So you can see the difference, right? So let me go back. So this is Smart Campaign, and this is expert mode, okay? So again, expert mode takes a little bit more work to run the ad, but you do have more access available to data and to functionality. And then if you combine your Google Analytics with your Google Ads, that gives you even more data. And to do that, you just do it from your dashboard. So once you run the ad, you'll have a Google Ad dashboard, and then you can combine the two so they can speak to each other. And Google Analytics is free to set up, just like your Google My Business account. You'll just go to g.co/analytics to set it up. And that, my friends, is ads. What's the definition of impression? Oh, let me go back, Jerry. So impressions is how many times your ad was displayed, whether someone clicked on it or not. Oh, no worries. There's all these terms. There's impressions, there's reach. I get it. I get it. I know this definition, and I even have to remind myself, like, wait, what's the difference between impression and reach? So thank you for the question. Any other questions? Well, friends, that was it. A quick customer search journey, just because I think it's important for you to know how customers reach you, right? So there's so many different ways you can infuse ads into the way that you do business. So let's start here, right? We need a gift. We're buying a gift for a friend. Our friend is a foodie. So we search gift ideas, right? Who has done that? I know I have. After you search the idea, you read. From there you go. You even visit a store based on the search that you had, whether it's an online store or in-person store, or maybe you go and you read something on YouTube, right? And then you watch a video. So look at how many places you can insert an ad. You can insert an ad for the search part, right? Because the text ad populates at the top, as well as image ads and shopping ads. You can insert ads to get people to get to a website of yours. You can insert ads on YouTube, right? Because not only am I searching Google, I'm looking on YouTube. And the video that I choose to watch is how to spice up my macaroni and cheese. Another perfect place to insert my spice ad, right? Then you have Google search. So if you have a Google My Business profile, your spice shop populates when I look on Google search. And then the bonus here, as you check your email, you see a buy one, get one coupon, because as a spice shop, you're sending me emails if I'm on your listserv, and if not, you know, the ads that populate next to your email, there's ads there. So there's ads everywhere, which is really cool. So there's so many ways that you can insert ads to convert people when you think about the buyer journey. So I want you to think about this, because oftentimes we think we're going to get one ad in front of people and they're going to buy. Not the case. People need to see things 3 to 5 times. And this map shows you how many different ways you can do that, okay? If you want more tips and tricks like this, there's Google on the Air. Make sure you check it out. You can look and see different workshops. They're all free, and digital skills that can grow your brand and your business. There's also Google professional tools, which a lot of people don't know about. So after today, if you want to learn more about ads, you can go to Google professional tools, which is g.co/skillshop. And you can even learn more about ads, analytics, YouTube, Google My Business, all the things I talked about today are on there. You can also go to google.com/grow. They have a grow section specific for local businesses, where you can find common answers to your questions. And then if you want more tips and tools like this, please complete the survey that you should receive afterwards. Or if not, you can always email me and let me know like what Google products that you really want to learn about, and we can get another Grow with Google session set up. And that, my friends, is Google Ads.